Imagine planting a seed. It starts small, but over time, with sun and water, it grows into a mighty tree. Compound interest works in a similar way for your investments. Unfortunately, also for your debt, but that's a topic for a different video. With investment, compound interest simply means that you are earning interest on your original saved money and any interest you have already earned on that original amount. We all know that's a good thing, right? But let's be honest, sometimes figuring out what it actually means for your money can get a bit confusing. You invest $1,000 at a 4% annual return, and you get $40 extra in a year. Easy. But what about in 5 years, 10 years? And what if you add money regularly? Yeah, it can get a bit mind-boggling. And that's why I created this video. To take the mystery out of the compound interest calculation and show you exactly what happens to your hard-earned cash. See this bar graph climb? That's the power of compound interest. Your money not only earns interest on the initial amount, but also on the interest you have already earned. It's like a snowball rolling down the hill, getting bigger and bigger on the way. Now, what if you are not investing a lump sum? What if you are investing regularly small amounts of cash? Maybe you can swing in an extra $100 a month. Now that bar graph is really taking off. Consistent contribution combined with compound interest creates serious growth over time. So even if you generally understand the compound interest and the effect they have on your money, things can get a bit confusing and complex when you start looking at different investment amounts, different investment frequency, different returns, and different compounding periods. You might be wondering, if I invest $1,000 at 5% annual return, what will I have after 5 years? And what happens if I add additional $200 every month? How much will I have for my retirement if I start saving now? I'm not going to do every calculation of these scenarios, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you 3 ways to calculate the impact of compound interest on your investments. Because knowing what exactly you can expect from your saving and your investments will help you gain confidence, plan for the future, and also make informed decisions. Hopefully, it will also motivate you to start saving and start investing if you haven't started yet. So I'll start with the conventional method of compound interest calculation. I will also talk about using the most known AI tools to help you get the calculations done. And finally, I will share 3 simple and easy to use tools you can use to skip all the tough work and get the final result in a matter of minutes. And by using them, not only can you be sure that they are completely accurate, they also give you a visual representation of what you can expect from your savings and your investments to get that motivation going, to plan for the future, maybe a dream vacation, maybe retirement, and also to make informed decisions and compare different scenarios. But before I start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more financial tips. Your likes and subscribes give me the motivation to keep making these videos. Plus, comments are gold. They let me know what kind of content actually helps you conquer your financial goals. So hit that like button, subscribe like there's free money involved, which with compound interest it kind of is, and leave a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions. Let's make your wallet happy together. Okay, now that we tick that off, let's get right into it. The most conventional way to calculate the compound interest effect is, of course, to use the compound interest calculation formula. Apply it in Excel or Google Sheet and see the result. Now here is the formula. So A is the final amount, so how much you will receive at the end. P is the initial principal balance, so the investment you start with. R stands for the interest rate or the rate of return you expect. N is the number of times interest is applied over the time period. So what is the frequency of compounding interest? Interest can be compounded on a variety of frequencies, such as daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually. And the higher the number of compounding periods, so the higher the frequency of compounding, the larger the effect of compounding. So if you are thinking about whether to take an investment which compounds annually with the same interest rate as an investment that would compound daily or monthly, be sure to pick the second one, because that one will have a bigger impact of compounding and give you better result in the end. Finally, T stands for the number of periods invested. So usually how many years you will be holding the investment. Now, as you can see, this formula, although not very complicated, can get a bit messy when put in Excel or in Google Sheets. It accounts only for one-off, so one-time investments, but it doesn't include scenarios where you would add or withdraw additional money. For instance, let's say that you start off with a $5,000 investment at a 5% annual rate of return. You plan to hold it for 10 years, but after 1 year, you get a pay raise and you realize that you can actually add additional $200 each and every month. Now, this is the formula that you should use in that scenario. Again, A is the total amount at the end. P is the principal you start off with. R is the annual interest rate. N is the number of times, so the frequency of compounding. T is the number of years of investment. And finally, C is the regular contribution amount, so the amount you add in each period. Now, if you need to withdraw some money in a certain period of time, maybe you need to cover some unforeseen expenses and you don't have an emergency fund set up. I don't know, life just happens, right? That makes the calculation even more complex. Of course, you can set up all the formulas in Excel or Google Sheets, but usually we lack knowledge, we lack patience, and we also lack time to do that. Plus, we are not necessarily always sure that we did it right. So what else can you do? So in today's world, probably the majority of us would open one of the AI tools, such as ChatGPT or Google Gemini, and ask them to do the calculations for you. And while I have immense respect for the capabilities that these tools have, I do not recommend using them for these calculations. In fact, I have tested both ChatGPT and Gemini with multiple scenarios, and none of the results they provided were fully accurate. Then I thought, maybe I need to change the prompt. So, they would understand me better. So I also tested a number of different prompts, only to get more different results, but all of them inaccurate. It could be, of course, that the prompts were not good enough, that they didn't understand what I was actually searching for. But the problem is you don't know that the prompt is good enough. So you don't know that the result you were given is not accurate. Therefore, I really don't recommend using these tools for the compound interest calculation. But thankfully, there's another way you can do the calculation while being sure that it is really accurate. So even though you don't want to do the whole thing by yourself in Excel or Google Sheets, and you can't really rely on the IA tools, there's still a way to get your information about the impact of compounding interest. And it is simple to use, accurate, and completely free. Plus, it includes visualization of the impact of compound interest so that you can see for yourself how important it actually is. Did I get you wondering what that is? It's the compound interest calculator. Let's go briefly through 3 of them, which I like the most. And don't worry, I'm posting the link to each of them down in the video description below. First of all, SEC's calculator. The US Securities and Exchange Commission website offers a free online compound interest calculator, which is fairly simple and also allows inputs of monthly additional deposits to the principal, which helps you calculate earnings when additional monthly savings are being deposited. So when you get a pay raise. Then we have Account Link Calculator. This calculator is geared towards students and demonstrates the long-term power of compounding. Enter your age, annual interest rate, initial investment, and monthly savings. The resulting graph shows your money growing over time and the difference between total earnings and the principal. And finally, my favorite one, the calculator cites, funny name, Compound Interest Calculator. I love this one because it not only allows calculations for 5 different currencies, but it also allows you to factor in not only monthly contributions, but also withdrawals. And it provides an automatic calculation of inflation-adjusted increase options for monthly deposits or withdrawals. So if you want to know exactly what you can expect, if you need the motivation to start saving and investing, head over to one of the links below in the description to access any of the free compound interest tools. Plug in different investment amounts, interest rate, and contribution schedules. See for yourself what kind of future you are building for yourself with your savings. Play around with it and get excited about watching your money grow. And if you feel that you need to win the lottery first to get some money and start saving and investing, or if you think that investing is reserved only for the people in fancy suits and ties, then you should head over to this video right here somewhere, where I'm gonna prove you wrong. Remember, the sooner you start, the more time your money has to benefit from the magic of compound interest. So I'll see you there. Until next time, I'm cheering for you. Bye-bye.